universo da série atrai um público jovem. Não, volta. A série faz parte da estratégia da Netflix de produzir conteúdos próprios e estreou em 2013, batendo recorde de audiência na primeira semana, à frente de House of Cards. Todos os episódios da série foram disponibilizados para o público ao mesmo tempo. Qual o impacto dessa estratégia de distribuição na produção de uma série de ficção? O que muda no desenvolvimento do roteiro?
I got it. It's like, how did it impact the storytelling? What was the very last line she said?
What is the impact of the distribution strategy in the production design efforts and about the script development?
Okay. It was very exciting to do Hemlock Grove with all the episodes at once. That was one of the main reasons I wanted to do it with Netflix. It changes how you tell the story. We could really approach it as a 13-hour movie, and season 2 is a 10-hour movie. And it changed how we wrote it. We were free to have violence and nudity and to film it in a very, very cinematic way. I wanted the whole thing to look and feel like a movie. I brought in Stephen Poster, who shot Donnie Darko in many movies, and Fernando Arguillas as the DP. Drew Boughton, I just worked with him, production design of Man with the Iron Fist. We look at how high-definition televisions are now. So much of the best photography is on television. You look at Game of Thrones, very, very cinematic show. And that's what we wanted to do. My composer, Nathan Barr, who I did Hostel with, came in to score Hemlock Grove. So everything we did, and of course getting a movie star like Famke and Dougray Scott to anchor the show was hugely important to us, and Lily Taylor. So Netflix is the future. You know, we didn't want to do a show where every 10 minutes you have a commercial, or next week on Hemlock Grove, you can sit down and play it and watch all of it at once, or watch 2 hours or 3 hours. It's a show that really fits the viewing habits of today's modern viewer.
Ok. Em termos de audiência, você acha que o binge watching é uma tendência que vai se consolidar? Você tem números que indiquem isso?
In terms of audience, you think binge watching is a trend that will consolidate? Do you have numbers to indicate that?
Well, Netflix hides. And binge watching is the way that people watch television now. In fact, couples, when they're watching a show, they say, oh, we're doing House of Cards, we're doing Breaking Bad. I think Breaking Bad was the tipping point. You know, that was where, even though it was on a different network, everybody said, are you caught up? Are you caught up? And they had to start watching it, and they watched them all on Netflix. So people got really used to watching shows that way. So then they said, well, let's try Orange is the New Black, or let's try House of Cards, let's try Hemlock Grove. And they saw all the other old shows. So now there used to be a thing, if you missed a show, like if you missed Lost, season 1 or 2, you couldn't really come in season 3. But now, with Netflix, you can go back right from the beginning and catch up on absolutely everything. You don't need DVDs. There's no piracy anymore. You don't have to search for episodes. It's all right there. So we don't have the numbers because Netflix is like the NSA. Like, they have all the data and it's all super top secret. But what we do have are the number of subscribers, which from the time I started Hemlock Grove was 30 million and is now 50 million. And their stock price has gone up, and they're expanding into every country in the world. So however many people are watching, it doesn't matter because 50 million people are subscribing.
Ok. O perfil da série no Facebook no Brasil conta com mais de 300 mil curtidas.
Uhum.
Qual a estratégia de marketing digital para a divulgação da série junto a esse público? Qual o desafio de promover o interesse contínuo na série, atingindo desde os fãs que assistem a todos os episódios de uma vez, até aqueles que ainda estão começando a assistir a primeira temporada?
The Facebook fan page in Brazil of Hemlock Grove has more than 300,000 people, 300,000 fans. How is the digital marketing strategy? And if you can talk a little bit about how to promote and continue to promote the interest of the show here or globally, and if you can talk a little bit about how fans watch all the episodes at once, and of those that are just starting to watch the first season and going on.
Sure. Well, if you think of what Steve Jobs did with Apple, with the product launch, where he started with the Macintosh, then the iPhone. He made it a worldwide event where everyone's waiting. They know something's going to be unveiled. There's all the journalists are there. He does the product, and everyone talks about it, and then you can buy it. Netflix has been able to do that with television. It used to be there was a show that was in America, then it went to Latin America, then it went to Univision, then it went around, and then suddenly it grew and took years. You know, when I was filming Hostel, Desperate Housewives, season 1 was just starting. But now, what Netflix has done is they've created a show that instantly is everywhere in the world. They've created a digital environment for fans in Brazil to communicate with fans in Sweden, and fans in Argentina and Chile to talk with fans in France and Germany and Ireland. So it's really only a language barrier at this point, but you can see the artwork on Tumblr and the people following it on Twitter. The fan base, it's so exciting to have a show that's like this. We've never had a show in this space with a monster, with a universe, supernatural, where you can give everyone the mythology, everything at once, and they can all engage with each other all around the world. So that's what's exciting, is that people are creating artwork, sharing artwork, texting with each other, talking to fans in Brazil and Sweden. It really makes the launch of the show a global event.
Ok. E o que a parceria com Charles Eagle trará de novo para a segunda temporada da série?
Is there something new we can expect from the partnership with Charles Eagle?
Oh, yes, absolutely. We were very lucky that Chick Egley came in. He worked for many years with James Cameron. And what Chick was able to provide was a fresh perspective. You know, I had lived with the project for 3 years, from reading the galleys of the novel to the printing of the novel to pitching the show. So I was so close to this particular story, but Chick just watched it in a weekend and came in as a fan. And he said, I love the show, I love what you did, but if as a fan, this is what I want to see. And I said, okay, as a fan, this is what I want to see. And he's like, okay, that's cool. And we were able to take any ideas that I had and write them into a really, really interesting story. And he said, I want to bring in Miranda, a new love interest for Roman and Peter, and I want to have her be a graphic novelist, and wrote this incredible new character. But I wanted it to go stranger, darker, scarier.
Ok, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the music. Yeah, of course.
Tirar uma. Bem,
Eu vou cronometrar.
super empolgada, né, Mirena?
Imagina, quando tiver pronto, me avisa.
Né, tá ótimo.
Ah, beleza. Tá bom.
Tá ótimo. Maddie Kutzman. Gostaria de começar a nossa conversa falando sobre o gênero da série. Conversei com alguns fãs brasileiros e eles afirmam que Hemlock Grove não retrata o gênero terror, comédia e romance. Eles afirmam que a série é um misto de suspense com fantasia. Você acha que esses fãs estão certos? Nessa segunda temporada, tem algum gênero que fica mais evidente?
I would like to start a conversation, talk about the genre of the series. I talked with some Brazilian fans who claim that Hemlock Grove does not fit the horror genre, comedy and romance. They claim that the series is a mix of suspense and fantasy. Do you think these fans are right? In the second season, has some genre that becomes more evident?
Okay. I understand. I'm thinking. Personally, I think that Hemlock Grove absolutely falls under the horror genre. You know, I'm not seasoned in this kind of thing. I don't really know the classifications that are required for each genre, but it definitely has a bit of fantasy, definitely some supernatural elements going on. But when you have 75 pounds of blood shooting like a geyser out of someone's neck, it's horrific. It falls under the horror genre. So that's my personal opinion. But, you know, I'm sure Eli could answer that question a lot better than I could, because he's, you know, the master of horror. So, but that's, you know, that's my answer.
Ok. Acredito que todas as cenas deram muito trabalho para fazer. Mas tem alguma em especial que foi mais difícil de fazer nessa segunda temporada?
I believe that all scenes have a lot of work to do, but there is some scene in particular that was harder to do in this season.
Well, definitely, I mean, all the scenes have their own elements, and they have, you know, you need a wide shot, you need a closer shot, you need close up, blah, blah, blah. But there are some scenes that take a lot of preparation, such as the gorgasmic blood shooting like a geyser scene. that took a lot of preparation. All the cameras are covered in plastic bags, and everybody has to be like, we need to get this in at least 4 takes. So that takes a lot of preparation and a lot of commitment for everybody. Like, we want to get it right the first time, and if not the first time, definitely the second time. So yeah, and then you have, your scenes that are just typical dialogue scenes back and forth. You want to get the shot from here, the shot from here, the wide shot, So, which is always fine and good, but it's a lot of fun to do the scenes that are a lot more complex.
Ok. Mary, você pode falar de como é Miranda? Tem alguma identificação com a personagem?
Maddie, can you talk about Miranda Kate? Do you have any identification with her?
I what?
Do you identify with her?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Definitely. Miranda is a very specific character. She has a very tough exterior, but she has a very soft core. She's not what she seems, which is something that I really love about her, because you have to get to know her, and you have to really listen and get to know her to see what it is that she has going on deep down. I identify with her a lot because, we're the same person. And, I am very much like Miranda. I tend to have like a much tougher outer shell, but then when you get to know me, I'm a total softie. And I feel like Miranda, I am a very passionate person. And I like that I was able to bring that into Miranda toward the end of the season, when you see her really feel very strongly for the babies and for the 2 boys, for the baby and the 2 boys.
E ela vai prender os telespectadores por ser tão sexy?
Will Miranda hold the viewers like audience for being so sexy?
Will she hold the viewers attention?
For being sexy.
I don't know. I don't personally think that I'm that sexy, so I think Miranda is a fun new element because, Letha is Penelope Mitchell is gorgeous and is very ethereal and angel-like, and her character is so sweet. And but then Miranda has this darker, kind of sexier vibe, I guess. And I think she can hold the audience's attention, especially initially, because you don't know, is she a villain? Is she on a good side? What are her intentions? So I guess she keeps your attention that way. And also, when somebody takes their shirt off, you usually keep your attention for a little while.
Você se formou pela American Music and Dramatic Academy em 2012 e já em 2013 teve sua estreia em Orange is the New Black. Agora, 2 anos depois, está no elenco de Hemlock Grove. Como é ser tão nova e ingressar no elenco de grandes produções? Pode falar um pouco da sua história?
You graduated from the American Music and Dramatic Academy in 2012, and you're already in 2013, starting Orange is the New Black. Now, 2 years later, you're in the cast of Hemlock Grove. How is to be so new, enjoying the cast of big productions? Can you talk a little bit about your story in these 2 shows?
So, yes, I did graduate at the end of May in 2012, and 4 months later, I started work on Orange is the New Black, and it was a total whirlwind. I had no idea what I was getting myself into, even. I hadn't intended to do TV, and I just got this audition, and I went for it, and it worked out. And Jenji Cohen obviously saw, I don't know, she saw something in me. Maybe it was she liked my eyebrows or something. I don't know. But, and now to be not even a year after one show premiering, the next show came out, I've just been, the last 2 years have been a complete whirlwind. I've been so lucky. I've been so tired and so blessed. And I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm very, very happy. And it's been a really rewarding experience being on both shows, and both shows being these original series on Netflix, this brand new platform, this brand new way of watching television, that's really just taking over. And I'm so honored to be a part of it and to experience this really, it's like momentous. It's changing the way people watch television. So I'm just really in awe. I'm still in shock that I've been so lucky. No, you're good? Good? Oh, good. Thank you so much. Of course, yeah.
Certo. Eu queria, tipo, jogar um negócio. Peraí, deixa eu ver se eu faço um negócio aqui. Uma cidade... tá bem no rosto, assim, eu não queria que pegasse muito corpo, por causa que eu tô um pouco gorda.
Eu tô pegando aquilo ali, né?
O Hamlet... sim. Então a gente faz assim, tipo, vai, mais ou menos assim, né? Uma cidade na Pensilvânia, onde todos os seus moradores têm segredos monstruosos. Tá. Uma cidade na Pensilvânia, onde todos os seus moradores têm segredos monstruosos. Lá também ocorrem assassinatos em série. Onde? Hemlock Grove. Não, zoada, viu? Tá. Vamos lá. Uma cidade... Assim, não, normal.
Porque tá muito alto.
Tá alto. Lá fora. Aí pega um pouco, né? Não, nem pede. Eu vou falar bem assim. Não, melhor não, né? Deixa aqui. Qualquer coisa nem vai entrar também, né? Assim, tá. Uma cidade na Pensilvânia onde todos seus moradores escondem segredos monstruosos. Foi. Uma cidade da Pensilvânia onde todos seus moradores... Uma cidade da Pensilvânia... Uma cidade na Pensilvânia onde todos seus moradores escondem segredos monstruosos. Lá também ocorrem assassinatos em série. Hemlock Grove. Tá bom. Tá ótimo. Vamos que vamos, né? Não sei nem se eu vou...